Get started on our back, so you can find any position that's going to be most comfortable for you. You might choose to have all of your limbs extended long, or maybe the knees bent, or maybe the soles of the feet together, legs butterflied out to the side. And just know that as we open up practice together today, that you're not stuck in this position. You can always shift as you need. All right. Let's take 3 clearing breaths to settle in. As you're ready, draw in a breath through your nose and out through the mouth. Let's do that again. Steady breath in, fill up, and let it go. One more time for good measure. Steady breath in, filling all the way up to the tippy tippy top. Hold there for just a second. And as you're ready, let out a sigh through the mouth. Ah, you made it once again for your self-care through yoga, through mindfulness. And that, my friends, deserves big celebration, big kudos, big self-love for showing up for yourself. And I'll invite you to just focus in on your natural breath as it is. Maybe notice the pace of your breath and the rhythm. Notice the places in your body that subtly move and shift as you breathe in and out. Can you feel the breath maybe in the belly? Maybe in the ribs? Or maybe in the chest space up toward the collarbones or even in the shoulders? We're going to invite in a bit more depth of breath with a breath called samavriti in Sanskrit. It means equal fluctuation. And this helps us to bring balance into our bodies, brings balance from left to right side, including left and right side hemispheres of the brain for whole body, whole brain integration. So on your next exhale, completely empty out, actively push all the air out to cleanse. And then we'll inhale together for 2, 3, 4, moving right into the exhale for 2, 3, and 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Continue like that on your own. Creating a circular pattern with the breath. Moving right into exhale after that in-breath. And right to the inhale after the out-breath. If you feel that you have the capacity to increase the count to 5 or 6, both on inhale and exhale, go ahead and start that on the next round. We are not interested in strain or tension. So if you feel that increasing the count causes that, just back off. Maybe move back to the 4 count or lower down a number. Finish up the round you're on, and then we're going to go 3 more rounds. When you finish with that 3rd round, return to your organic breath, no effort behind it at all. And then an invitation to notice the rhythm of your breath again, the pace. And then tune in with those places in your body that move and shift as you breathe in and out as well. Just check it in to see if you notice a shift or a change. And the answer can be absolutely no or I don't know. Our job as yogis is just to take note. And then wherever you are, if you have the eyes closed, please gently flutter them open, letting the outside world back in. And then we'll bring some movement into the body. Start to wiggle the fingers. Bring the hands into fists, squeeze really tightly. And then extend the fingers long as you can, spreading them as wide as you can. And then we'll close them back up nice and tight. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let the fingers expand. We'll do that one more time. Inhale to contract and close. And exhale to expand. And then wherever you are, bring the legs straight if they're not already. We're going to reach the arms overhead, take a full body stretch, get long, point through your toes as you reach the fingertips. Lift the heart up toward the sky. And then you're going to relax the limbs a little bit here, sway the feet from side to side like little windshield wipers. Point and flex your toes. Maybe getting some snap, crackle, pops out. All right, and then you'll keep the arms overhead, and we're going to start to walk our legs over to the right, any amount. Okay, what we're looking for is a extension on the left side body. Then you're going to take your upper body and shimmy it over to the right as well. So we've created this crescent shape, sort of a C shape. And if it feels okay in your body, you can take hold of the left wrist to gently lengthen to feel that stretch here on the side. And then option and option only, you might pick up that left foot and cross it over the right ankle. Let your head gently sway over to the right to create a little bit more space around the shoulders, and then see if you can shrug those shoulders, those scapula, down onto the back to create a little bit more space in the neck. And then we're gonna recall that 4-count breath for 3 rounds here on the left side, a dedicated attention onto the left side. Okay, so exhale all the air from your lungs, cleansing out. And then we'll inhale together for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, fill up on that left side. And exhale, emptying out on that left side. All right, we'll uncross the ankle if you've chosen that. Walk both your feet back through center. Unclasp the arms, reach the fingertips overhead, point through the toes, get long again. Full body stretch, and then we'll take it to the left side. So first, walk those heels over to the left, and then the upper body. Okay, you might stay here if you find enough stretch there on the right side, or maybe take hold of the right wrist, gently lengthen using that left hand, and then maybe cross that right ankle over the left foot. In some circles, this posture is called banana pose, which I think is cute and funny. We are resembling a banana or maybe even a crescent moon. We are opening up those intercostal muscles in between the ribs, which helps us to find a deeper breath capacity. So let's go ahead and find that equal fluctuation of breath on this side for 3 rounds. So go ahead and exhale to empty out. And then we'll inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Let it go, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhaling deep into that right side. And exhaling completely through that right side. Good. And then we'll uncross ankles. Let go of that right wrist. Bend the knees very carefully. Heel toe the feet out to the edges of the mat, and then let the knees windshield wipe from side to side. Okay. And then from here, we'll bring the knees in toward the chest one at a time. Great loving squeeze. Feel the low back press into the earth. Good. And then we're going to try a little exercise here with breath as well. So as you inhale, press the legs away. As you exhale, separate the knees wide, maybe the big toes touch. Inhale to bring the knees in toward the armpits, and then exhale, close the knees back together. So we're kind of creating a box. Inhale, press away. Exhale, knees out to the sides. Inhale, knees toward the armpits, and exhale, close it back up. Okay, inhale, push. Exhale, apart. Inhale to bring them in, and exhale to bring them together. Like that. And then we're going to do this movement fluidly. Fluid circles. Getting some movement in the hips, getting those juices flowing. And maybe tune in with the sensation you feel in the low back as you create these circles with the knees. Okay, the next time the knees come in toward the heart space, you're going to pause there, give yourself another loving squeeze, maybe flex and point the ankles a little bit, roll out the ankles, make sure you go in the other direction for good balance. Okay, and then we're gonna take that action again, but in the reverse direction. Okay, so we're gonna hug the knees in toward the chest. As you exhale, bring the knees apart. Inhale to push them away. Exhale, bring them together. And then inhale, bring them back in toward the heart space. Exhale out to the sides. Inhale, push them away. You can use the heels of the hands. Exhale, bring together. And inhale in. One more time like that. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And then we'll take a fluid motion, creating these hip rolls, hip circles in the opposite direction. So you might have heard me say it before, everything we do in one direction, we do on the other for balance. All right. Go ahead and lower those feet down onto the ground. You're going to bring the feet all the way together to touch. And then you're going to bring the soles of the feet together, let the legs butterfly out to the sides. So now that we've stretched and mobilized the hips a little bit, we're going to bring a little bit of strengthening into the hips here. So arms can be down by the sides. I'll encourage you to keep the palms face up to encourage that external rotation of the shoulders, which helps to open the heart, promotes good posture. All right, we're going to move with the breath here. On your inhale, bring your knees together, soles of the feet come to the ground. As you exhale, open up the knees wide to the sides again. And we'll do that a few more times. Try your best to match the pace of your movement with the pace of your breath. The next time your legs come apart, soles of the feet together, go ahead and pause there. We're going to take this same action, but we're going to pause the breath halfway up. Okay? So on your inhale, come up about halfway and pause. And then continue the inhale and bring the knees all the way together. Same thing on the exhale. Exhale, pause about halfway. And then exhale the rest of the way, knees all the way down. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale halfway. Inhale the rest of the way. Exhale halfway down. And exhale, let the legs come all the way down. One more time. Okay, so we're back with knees wide, soles of the feet together. We're going to do that again, but we're going to pause twice on the way up and twice on the way down. Okay, so this is going to be more of a subtle, controlled movement. Inhale a third of the way up, pause. Inhale another third, and then inhale all the way up. Exhale down a third. Exhale another third, and then exhale all the way down. A couple more times like that. All right, let the knees relax out to the sides, soles of the feet together for just a moment. We're going to go through one more round of that. And this time we're going to pause 3 times on the way up, 3 times on the way down. So your legs are only going to move a little bit. And here we go. Inhale, 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 and inhale. Exhale, 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 exhale. 2 more times like that. The next time the knees come all the way out to the sides, leave them there. And just notice what you notice. All right, and then we'll bring the knees all the way together to touch, feet side by side. And you're gonna press into the soles of the feet here to lift the hips off the earth just enough. They come off the earth about an inch or two. And then you're gonna try to point your tailbone up toward the sky. It's like you're trying to hollow out your low belly. And then set yourself back down onto the earth. So the purpose of that is to broaden the back of the pelvis through the sacrum. Okay. And then one at a time, bring your knees back in towards your heart space. Give yourself a squeeze. And then we're going to extend the feet up toward the sky. Okay. And then arms up toward the sky as well. We're going to do a little bit of core work through this posture, which is known as dead bug, another funny name in yoga. And here I want you to actively press the backs of the shoulders in toward the earth. Feel the back of the shoulder girdle broaden a bit, okay? And then you're gonna bend your knees here. So lower feet are about parallel with the earth, okay? On the inhale, you're gonna reach your left arm overhead. Maybe it doesn't come all the way overhead to touch the ground behind you, just go as far as you can. And then inhale that back up. On the exhale, you're gonna go right to the ground. And then inhale that back on up. This time, right arm goes up and overhead. Maybe that thumb touches the ground behind you. And then inhale it up. Exhale, left toes onto the ground. And then inhale it back up. Okay, so we're going to try to do opposite arm, opposite leg together. So as you exhale, left arm, right leg comes down. And then inhale those back up. Other side, right arm, left leg. And then lift that back on up. Let's alternate 2 more times each side. Do the best you can. And try to focus in on the work happening in your abdominals. As well as the concentration that it takes to keep the other limbs completely still. All right, once you finish right arm, left leg, go ahead and bring everything on down. Heel toe the feet apart and find some gentle windshield wipers once again. All right, and then we'll roll over to one side. Doesn't matter which, and then press yourself in up to a seated position. All right, we have some other friends here. Welcome, welcome, you guys. All right, you can come into a cross-legged position facing the top edge of your space. And I like to shift a little bit, rock a little bit from side to side so that I find a nice seat. All right, so we're gonna sit nice and tall here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back. As you exhale, use the heels of your hands to press. Tuck the chin, round the spine, open up through the back of the heart space. Use your kneecaps to pull you forward, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades, look up a little bit, but try to keep your neck long. Exhale, round, tucking the chin. So this is a seated cat-cow, moving with the breath to inhale, open up the heart, the front of the heart, and exhaling to round, open up the back of the heart. Move with your breath 3 more times. So this pace will match the pace of your breath. Okay, we're gonna give it one more full round. And then on your next inhale, sit up tall. Bring your hands along your sides just so you can shift back and switch out the cross of your legs. That little change promotes balance in our body as well. So sitting up as tall as you can, as you inhale, reach the arms out wide and high, look up toward the hands, gather the palms. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. As you inhale, maybe imagine that you're scooping up the life force, the prana around you. And as you exhale, you're sealing that into your center, into the heart and the lungs. One more time. Sitting as tall as you can, lightly press the thumbs into the sternum toward the heart space, and then inhale to press the sternum back into your thumbs. Notice your posture here. Notice the position of your shoulders in relation to your hips. Can you stack the shoulders over the hips? And lightly hug that belly in towards your spine. We're engaging those muscles to help support our core. All right. Inhale, reach the arms out wide and high. Take hold of your left wrist and tip over to the right. Inhale, come back up through center. Take hold of the other wrist, same thing, and tip over. Nice gentle tip here. We don't have to go super far. Good. Inhale, come on up. And as you exhale, one palm down onto the ground, tip over to one side. It doesn't matter which, because we're going to do both sides. And from here, see if you can relax the shoulders away from the ears. Okay. If it feels more comfortable for you to keep a bend into the arm, into the elbow, that's cool. You might even bring your hand to the back of your head. We're going to get a little bit of neck stretch in here. So as you inhale, shift the gaze up toward the sky, move that upper arm or elbow back in space. And as you exhale, shift the gaze down toward the earth, but see if you can keep the heart space open. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale and exhale. One more time in both directions. And then we're going to hold here, and you can choose to keep your gaze wherever it feels best on the neck. So maybe that's down toward the ground. Maybe that's up toward the sky. And maybe it's somewhere in between. Maybe it's just straight out ahead. Okay. And I want you to think about that opposite hip. Okay. And really press it down into the earth. You could even use that hand out to the side to press into the earth so that you ground down evenly through both hips. Take a big breath into that side body and let it go. On the inhale, press yourself on up. And exhale, arms out to the sides, get wide, take up space, spread the fingers well. Good. One arm over the other. Give yourself a big hug. And just notice here which arm is on top, okay? Just take note of that for right now. On your inhale, lift both elbows as high as you can. And as you exhale, let the body round forward, fold forward over the legs any amount. So this might not be a very big movement. That's totally okay. We're just finding a good stretch there on the backside body, the latissimus dorsi. It's that big flap of a muscle on our mid to lower back. Might feel good here to gently sway your chin from side to side like a pendulum. All right. And then we're going to inhale, come back on up, reach the arms out to the sides, open up that heart space. Very good. Exhale, hands come down to the sides. Okay, so that means, of course, we got to do the other side. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, tip over to the other side. Landing that hand onto the earth beside you. Reaching up through that opposite arm. Again, option here to bend the elbow, maybe even bring the hand to the back of the head here. Okay, so using that planted hand to really press down into that opposite hip. Notice if it wants to pop up a little bit, and just encourage it down. And then we'll get that neck motion in here with the breath. Inhale your next breath to look up. And as you exhale, shift the nose down toward the earth. Move with your own breath, your own pace. Trying to keep the heart space open and broad throughout this motion as best you can. Just isolating the movement in the neck. And then we'll hold the gaze in whatever position feels okay for you. It can look different from the other side. Maybe you want to try to look up this time if you look down, vice versa. Take one more big breath in and out. And then inhale, come on up, reach up through the fingertips, gather the palms, exhale, hands come down to heart center. All right, we'll all meet in a tabletop. We're gonna move through thread the needle. We did this one last week, so another opportunity to try this out. So we're gonna spread those fingers really, really well and shift the shoulders over the wrists. Take a look back at your legs, make sure that the knees are right underneath the hips. Okay. And then we'll start with the right arm, reach the right arm up toward the sky, get as long as you can. As you exhale, thread the needle between the space of your left arm and left leg, and then shift, set the shoulder down onto the ground as well as the side of your head. And then come up onto your left fingertips. You're going to tent up those fingertips. Okay. And then press into the fingertips and see if you could shimmy that right hand over to the left a little bit more, threading your needle a bit deeper. Hug the belly in toward the spine here. Okay. And then options, if you would like, you could try straightening the left leg and really press into the back of that right palm on the ground to help you maintain balance. Okay, that's just an option. If you feel unstable, just bring that knee back on down. Another option, if you want to try it, with or without that knee lifted, is to reach the left arm up toward the sky. Okay, you could stay here. This helps to deepen the twist, or maybe set the palm onto the low back. Maybe even take those fingertips and wrap them around into the right hip crease. Wherever you are, press into the earth through either hand. If one is lifted, it'll be the back of that right hand, and try to roll more onto the back side of your head. This helps to revolve the heart up toward the sky a little bit more. We'll take 2 more rounds of breath here. Unhinge the jaw if you notice that you're clenching there. If you have the bind with your arm, please gently release it, palm fully planted onto the earth. If you have the left leg extended, please lower it down onto the ground. Everybody press into that left palm, slowly unwind, reach that arm up, and then sit back over your heels. That left hand will drag back with you as you sit back on the heel. Find some wrist rolls in both directions. Okay. And then we're going to do one big circle moving forward, like a forward swimming stroke. And then we're going to take 3 going the opposite direction. So 3 big, 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 as big as you can, backstrokes. And I like to do this one more than the forward stroke because in our culture, in our society, we often need more of this heart opening. We do a lot of forward rounding with driving, texting, working on a computer. All right. Inhale, reach those right fingertips up, get as long as you can, and then exhale, put that hand back on down. And then we'll go to the left side. So first set yourself up in your tabletop here, spreading the fingers well. And then as you're ready, lift the left arm up. Gather up that length, exhale to thread, setting the left shoulder down, left side of the head down. And then we'll come up onto those right fingertips. Press into the fingertips and see if you could scooch that arm, that shoulder, those fingers all the way to the right a little bit more. And then option to stay right here, continuing to revolve the heart and the face up toward the sky. Maybe you try straightening that right leg. Okay. Fiercely press into the back of the left hand to help you maintain balance. And then option with or without that leg, that knee lifted, you might try reaching the right fingertips up, setting it onto the low back, or hooking those fingertips around into the left hip crease. Whatever variation you have, see if you can hug the belly up toward the spine, unclench the jaw, and breathe deeply. We'll take 2 more rounds of breath right here in our thread the needle. All right, if you have a bind or any other variation, you're going to bring that hand back down onto the ground in front of your face. Lower the knee if you took that option. Press into the right hand. Come on up nice and slow for that counter twist. Find some wrist rolls. And then set your hips back over the heels. Let that right hand drag in with you. Okay, and then we'll do that one big forward stroke, finding as much range of motion as you can through your shoulder. And then we'll take 3 in the opposite direction. So I like to set my intention on the fingertips and pretend that I'm drawing a big circle. I'm tracing a big, big circle. This is really good for the shoulder girdle, helps us to maintain mobility in this very mobile joint. All right, inhale, reach on up and lower that hand down. We'll bring the knees wide, big toes together to touch, and we'll come on down into a child's pose here for a few breaths, resting the third eye onto the earth. Maybe you have a blanket or a towel, you could rest your head on that as well. It might feel good to gently rock the third eye from side to side, little forehead massage. All right, from here, we'll press ourselves on up. We'll work with just a little bit more balance here through balancing cat. We also did this one last week. If you have sensitivity in your wrists or shoulders, you can definitely do this from standing or kneeling, these next positions that we're going to be doing, and you'll just work with the arms, okay? So otherwise, We'll be meeting in our tabletop. Other options as well is to ball up the fists, okay? Backs of the knuckles on the earth. And maybe the hands are even ahead of the shoulders a little bit. That can relieve a little bit of tension in the wrists. And to help you maintain nice, healthy wrists throughout your practice so you can keep coming back, press evenly through all pads of your fingers, not just the heels of your hands, but see if you can get more into this mound of flesh right beneath the knuckles where the fingers start. All right, we're gonna bring our knees all the way together to touch. Okay, I find that this helps with balance. And then you're gonna stretch your right leg out long behind you, okay? You can stay right here, actively pressing the earth away, hug the belly up toward the spine. Another option from here, if you wanna try more of your balance, is to lift the left arm alongside your ear. Keep the gaze facing downward, all sides of the neck are nice and long. Press firmly through your right hand to lift up and out of that shoulder. Okay, you may stay here or hover the right toes off the earth any amount. Okay, eventually we want to get the leg about parallel with the earth, pressing firmly back through that heel. Let's take a couple more breaths here wherever you are. Big breath in and out. One more. And as you exhale, if you have any of the limbs lifted, please lower them back down onto the earth. Let's move through one cat-cow. Inhale to arch and exhale to round. We'll come back into this neutral position with the spine. Knees are together, okay, just in case you've lost that. And then left leg straight behind you onto the ball of the foot. Okay, so building just like the other side, you might stay here actively pressing the palms into the earth, and you can feel that engagement in the upper body through the trapezius, strengthening the rhomboids between the shoulder blades. Maybe you lift the right arm alongside the right ear, reaching through those fingertips, okay? Getting nice and long. One long line of energy from the right fingertips down through the left heel for balancing cat. Maybe you lift those left toes off the earth any amount, okay? Maybe you can lift them higher. Maybe it's just an inch or two off the earth. In any case, you want to flex through that ankle, press back through the heel, reach through the fingers. Let's take one more big breath in and out. Okay, I lied. One more inhale and exhale. Lower the limbs down if you have any of them lifted, and one cat-cow. All right, walk the hands in toward the body. You can come up to your knees or rest onto the backs of the heels. We'll bring the backs of the hands together and actively press them and then descend the elbows down toward the earth any amount. So you can feel that nice stretch on the back of the wrists. It might also feel nice to wiggle out the fingers a little bit. See if you can ball up the hands in this position and then let them go. Right. And then we'll bring our hands onto our hips. If you're not already on your knees, please to your knees. And then we'll walk that right foot forward, scooch it forward so that the ankle is well ahead of the knee. The back toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels more stable for you. And then that light engagement of encouraging the right hip back and the left hip forward. You can even use your hands here to encourage that squaring of the hips. Take a big breath in, squeeze the elbows together toward the backside body, lifting the heart space. And as you exhale, sink into your lunge any amount that feels comfortable for you. Notice if your knee traveled past the ankle and wiggle those toes forward. If you're feeling a little wobbly, heel toe that right foot out to the right a bit more. Okay. You can stay here with the arms on or the hands on the hips, or maybe you reach the arms out to the sides, opening up the heart space, or maybe even up toward the sky. You could keep the arms in a V shape, or maybe arms are parallel to one another, like the number 11. Whatever option you choose, become aware of the shoulders, and as you exhale, try to glide them away from the ears as best you can. Take one more big breath in. And exhale, hands back on the hips if you've lowered or if you've lifted the hands. Press into that right foot to come back and out of your lunge here. Okay, and then we'll go for the other side. So walking that left foot forward. Okay, and if you need that stability, there's always that trick of scooching the foot out further to the side so that you feel like you have more of a stable base. All right, so light encouragement of moving that left hip back and right hip forward with the hands. And then as you exhale, move into your lunge to find that stretch here on the right quad, any amount. Wiggle the toes forward if needed. Take a big breath in with hands on hips, squeeze the elbows together, lifting and broadening through the heart space. Good. You could keep the hands here or reach them up, out to the sides, into a V shape or number 11. Whatever variation you choose, relax the shoulders as best you can. One more deep breath in. And exhale, hands come back down onto the hips if you've moved them. And then we'll bring that left foot back. We're going to try a baby camel. Or actually, you know what? We're going to switch this up. Tuck your toes and sit back onto your heels. Okay, we won't be here for long, I promise. We're going to do a little fluid movement. I call this a baby camel float. Inhale, reach the arms out wide and high. As you exhale, you're going to fold forward at the hips any amount and reach the arms back. Inhale, come up to standing, reach the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, sit back on the heels and come into a cactus shape with the arms. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sweep the arms alongside the body, fold forward any amount. Inhale, come all the way up to kneeling. Exhale, sit back over the heels, cactus arms, lift the heart. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep it back, fold forward. Inhale to rise. Press the hips forward. Exhale, cactus arms. Good. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up. And exhale, cactus arms. Inhale to reach those arms up, come up to the knees. And then as you exhale, you're going to swing those arms all the way around you and bring the hands onto your low back, like you're going to slip your fingers into your jean pockets, okay? And then from here, you want to squeeze those elbows together as best you can. Okay, keep your toes tucked. Notice if you've untucked them. You want the knees right underneath the hips. Legs are parallel to one another. And then as far as you're comfortable, as long as you don't feel any pain, press the hips forward and lean the shoulders back in space, okay? Keep those elbows hugging toward one another. Keep the gaze forward, don't throw the head back. You want to keep that chin relatively close to the chest. And continue to lean back as far as is comfortable for you here. We're finding a nice stretch on the quads, the front side body, through the abdominals, including the psoas, through the shoulders and the chest. Good. Take one more big breath in. And exhale to come out, untuck the toes, sit back over the heels for just a moment. And we'll take a couple breaths just to reset here. Big breaths in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. All right, from here, we're going to shift around onto our backs. Coming all the way on down. We're going to keep the knees bent here. And then you're going to pick up that right leg and cross it over the left. Okay, so we're in a figure 4 shape here. And then as you're ready, on your next exhale, push all the air out and bring the legs in toward the chest. You can take hold of anywhere on that left thigh, okay? Maybe even bring the arms around or the fingertips around to interlace around the shin. And then from here, flex through both of your feet like you're pressing the heels out and away, okay? We're just gonna stay here for a few breaths in a variation of pigeon pose. Take in one more round of mindful breath. And then you're going to release hold of that leg. Bring the arms out to the sides, palms face up. And then as you exhale, you're going to take the package of the legs and move them over towards your left side. So we still have that ankle connected to the thigh. And eventually, that right foot will make contact with the earth beside you, okay? Adjust the height of the legs as needed. Maybe you can scooch them up closer towards your upper body. Maybe they need to be scooched down further away, okay? Do the best you can to get that right foot planted onto the ground. Shift the gaze to face upward if it's not already. Draw in a big breath. And as you exhale, let the gaze fall over to the right. Maybe you gaze at your right fingertips. Take one more round of mindful breath, please. And then on your inhale, shift the gaze to look back up. And then activate those belly muscles to help the legs come back in. Uncross the right ankle. Maybe swish the legs a little bit from side to side. Okay, and then we'll go for the other side. So heel toe the feet about hip width distant, and then pick up that left foot, cross that ankle over the right thigh. Okay. And then on your next exhale, as you push the air out, bring the legs in, maybe interlace the fingers behind the thigh at the hamstrings or maybe around the shin. Maybe even the sides of the thighs is where you want to be today. Okay, and then flex through both your ankles, press your heels away as best you can. And notice when you do that, that activates some more of the stretch here. For me, I feel that in my glute and my IT band, the outer edge of my left leg. And we'll take a few rounds of mindful breath, breathing into these spaces that are stretching and expanding. Go ahead and mindfully release hold of that right leg. Arms out to the sides, palms face up, please. And then start to slowly shift the legs over to the right until that left foot comes down onto the ground. And again, you may have to scooch the legs further from the upper body, or maybe you can find a bit more space to bring them in closer. Okay. And then take a deep breath in, looking up toward the sky. And then as you exhale, let the gaze fall over to the left. Intentional, mindful breaths as you twist and wring out your body of what is no longer needed. And that's quite literally happening on a physical level. In twists, we stimulate our digestive organs. So we're activating those helpful organs to help us flush and get rid of what we no longer need in this body. As you draw in your next breath, activate those belly muscles to help the legs come back through center. Uncross the ankle, maybe find a few more windshield wipes from side to side. All right. And if there's any other posture that you feel would complete your practice this afternoon, you can move through that. Otherwise, set up for your final resting posture, Shavasana. And once you arrive in Shavasana, don't be afraid to take up space. Bring the legs wider than the hips and let the toes relax out to the side. Press into the backs of the arms and collect those shoulder blades underneath you. That helps to lift the heart. The scapula actually act as a shelf for the heart space. Palms face up. And before you completely settle in, take a deep breath through the nose. And exhale through the mouth, allowing your body to surrender toward the earth. Please draw your awareness back into your body. Draw in a deeper breath, filling all the way up to the crown of your head. And exhale all the way down to the tips of the toes. Gently rock your head from side to side. Maybe open and close your jaw a few times. Lick the lips, run the tongue around the teeth. Brush your thumbs against your other fingertips. Pick up the hands and roll out the wrists. Gently sway your feet from side to side like little windshield wipers. And then maybe reach the arms up and overhead, point through the toes, get long, reawakening from our yogic slumber. And then roll over to one side. Take a full breath in and out. And on your next inhale, press into your top hand. Come up to any seat, soft gaze down toward the earth, or maybe even eyes closed. Gathering our hands together in Anjali Mudra, this gesture of union, balance, reverence, devotion, dedication, gratitude, humility, and so much more. It's my pleasure and honor to be your guide again this afternoon. Namaste.